So we're going to move the air box completely out of the way. Remove the air temp sensor connector, push down on that tab and pull. We're going to take the hose to the valve cover off, and then we're going to take the throttle body hose off. 8mm, 5/16, or a flathead screwdriver. Now I'm going to pull up on these tabs. There's one here and one over here. Lift the air box cover up and get that right out of the way. Now I'm going to take the air cleaner out itself. And I have one mounting screw here, I believe. The rest should be push rubber pins. And that's going to be a 10mm socket. Remove the mounting screw. We're going to grab this airbox bucket, pull up, just like that. And you'll see, now you can see the actual mount right here. I'm going to leave the cable attached to the bracket. Oh, I guess I can move it off. It makes it easier. Get that out of the way. Now we have two mounting screws here, two here, then you have one straight down in. So first thing I'm going to do is get a floor jack, and I'm going to put like a piece of wood on it or a rubber damper circle and support this transmission from down below. And then just put enough pressure on it that it's holding right where it belongs, and that should be good. So the two top mounts here, 1, 2, those bolts are 16mm socket. Might use an extension, might be easier for you to get onto this one. Now the other two that are mounted to the actual transmission mount, these two are 18. I'm going to get these out of the way. This is an 18mm socket. And this is where you're going to find the transmission to start drop down. I'm going to add pressure to my jack. It's the back bolt. And the front bolt. Now I'm going to lower the transmission so I can get access to the bolt that goes horizontal here. Drive ratchet, 16mm socket. There you go. Now break it free. Beautiful. Now I can get my 3/8 drive and spin it out. Now we're just going to pull this right out. There it is. Now we're going to take the new one, just reverse the procedure. I'm going to put the top two in, just start them by hand. So I'm not trying to center that bottom and be way off. Now I could just there we go. Now I can put that vertical one in. There we go. See, now I can move that mount around so it was easier for me to center that bolt. Now let's tighten it up. I'm going to snug the top too. All right, so now I'm going to put my 1/2 inch drive back on, 16mm socket on this vertical bolt, and I'm just going to tighten it because there is no torque specs. And the same with the top, tightening by hand, not using a 1/2 inch air gun. Last thing I want is to have these snap off in place. And now I can jack up the actual transmission and line those bolt holes up. Get them as close as possible. I'm going to take these 2 big bolts. Reminder, that's going into aluminum, so make sure you do it by hand. At least start it several turns. And then I'm going to snug it up with my air gun. That's the 18mm socket. I'm going to go back and forth. And then let's check it out by hand. Wonderful. Now I'm going to lower the transmission, make sure it looks good. So you have 2 rubber mounts on the side of the airbox right here on that little subframe area. So you're going to pop them down on that. See the lineup. Pop them down. Then I'm going to take my battery cable bracket, slide that back in. Now I'm going to mount my bottom airbox. That's that long 6mm bolt with a 10mm socket. Just snug it up. Now I will put the top of the airbox cover back on. Install the air cleaner. Make sure it's seated all the way around. I'm going to grab the 3 guide pins and put them in that back. Push down, watch it clip down on both sides. It can be kind of tricky. Remount my throttle body air hose. See that cutout? Make sure it guides right up in there. Put my valve cover vent hose on. Now I have my air temp sensor connected till it clicks. Tighten that up, 8mm, 5/16 or flathead screwdriver. And you want it tight. No airflow should leak through that.